Hey there, my name is Brent Powell, and I'm a media maker who is passionate about helping others tell their stories. And today I'm going to be talking about the ATOMOS Ninja CAST and why you might want to buy it. All right, so there's a huge trend right now to get into live video, whether that's for events, weddings, corporate gigs, gaming, sharing what you do, educational content. But these devices also do a ton for helping people streamline their post-production and production workflows, whether that's multicam workflows like I'm doing right now, or you just need faster turnarounds. Like you don't have the time to edit on a computer. You need to edit on the spot and then be able to flip that around into something that you can deliver, and capturing raw performances from people. It's less staged. You're not trying to repeat things. You're trying to just capture it in the moment and then share those later on. I already did an unboxing of this back a few months ago, and so let's do a little bit of a recap of what this device is. So basically it is a 4-input HDMI 1080p switcher. It can do up to 60 frames per second, so 24p, 30, 50, and 60. So it's kind of nice. It gives you some options there, but 1080p. It does do scaling. So all my cameras right now are outputting 4K signals into this thing, and it's doing the conversion on its own, down scaling it to 1080. So that's really nice. It handles all that internally. It has a USB-C output on it, so that connects your computer and just shows up like a webcam. And there are a couple caveats with that. I have noticed that on a Mac especially, if you set the 24p playback, I've noticed that it stutters, and that's because it's actually trying to interpret it as a 30p input. So just keep that in mind if you are just doing like raw recording with QuickTime and 24p input off this thing. It looks a little janky. In stream software like OBS, you can manually set the frame rate and it's fine. But anyway, it's just a weird little thing right now. Hopefully they can fix that later on. I'm gonna get into the other things they can fix later on. So let's keep on going. So it records via the Ninja 5 here, Ninja V, or Plus model of this recorder, which is nice. So if you have one of these lying around, basically this top unit pairs with this bottom unit, and it gives you the ability of having this nice compact recording solution for multicam work. The quick thing on this one would be to compare it to something like the Blackmagic ATEM Mini. There's also a lot of other ones out there. There's the Yellow Box. There's the Roland has a video mixer. There's tons of these out there in varying varieties, but I really think as far as in the name of video production, Blackmagic and ATOMOS have the biggest clout. So I actually have a Blackmagic ATEM Mini right here. This is the Mini Pro. And the thing about the Mini Pro is it has a network output. So that's going to be one of the big things that's different. So an ATEM Mini is basically a 4-input HDMI switcher too, but it works, it doesn't do any recording. It just outputs as a webcam signal to your computer and works much in the same way this does, but no recording. The ATEM Mini Pro, which is, again, this one that I have right here, has a network jack on it, so it also does streaming. So that's kind of one of the nice things about getting the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pros. Those allow you to both record on the device, but also stream straight to your destination. So whether it's YouTube, Twitch, Vimeo, whatever it is, you can stream straight to the web source as a live production. So depending on what you're trying to do out of the box, there's some advantages to the Blackmagic Mini. Some of the other things that I really like about the Blackmagic one that it has are really customizable settings. It has a nice computer application that you're able to go in and tweak all the audio parameters, the picture-in-picture settings, transitions, and one other, I think, plus in my book is it records to standard like USB storage. So I can just put in a standard cheap $50 2 terabyte hard drive from Costco or Staples or whatever, and I can get tons of record time on that. But here's where we get into some advantages of the ATOMOS CAST, is that it has higher quality recording. Records into ProRes or the DNX HD profile, so it's really high quality HD footage again there. It has a screen built in, so it gives you kind of that advantage of a very compact solution. So you have this monitor that shows all your angles. You can show just one at a time if you want. You can also change what your outputs are. So you have the output on the Ninja as well as the output on the Cast that you can have show different things. So one can show preview, one can show program. You could show the multi-view up on the monitor. So there's some really cool things that you can do with that. And also one of the things that I really like about it is kind of adapterless audio monitoring. So on the ATEM Mini and Mini Pro and ISO for that matter, they don't have any way of monitoring the audio output. So you're limited to, you have to kind of go through HDMI. You can hack one in. That's not a problem. It's not hard to do, but it's just another adapter, another thing that you have to rig up. Now you're hooking headphones into a monitor or whatever. So anyway, I really like the fact that you can just go straight in. Now, I like a lot of things about this recorder. I already said it's compact, doesn't take up a huge amount of space in your bag, and you have your full monitoring, viewing solution, and recording solution right here in one thing. Now, if you're streaming, you also now need a computer, but you probably still needed a computer anyway, even if you're using just the Blackmagic, because you're going to want to set up the stream and all those things too. So I don't know. It's not that big of a difference for me. It has a really good use. I mean, just look at the use of the controls here. It's very compact. You have the ability of setting overlays, picture in picture. You know, I can go over here. I can set now my picture. I'm on the screen doing both things. It's just really good usage of very minimal buttons. You have 8 buttons, but you're able to do an awful lot with it. Whether that is your picture in picture, audio switching, setting up overlays, which there are some caveats about, and then the switcher going back and forth. But there are some things that I hope that they fix, and I hope they do it via firmware. I did get some confirmation back. There's some things that have been bugging me a little bit. There's no ability to set audio delay. That really comes in handy when you're trying to bring in something like a soundboard and plug it into the device, which it does. It's nice. It does have inputs up here where you can put in an 1/8 inch jack straight off of a sound mix, off of a mixer or a board. You know, I can imagine that's really handy if you're doing a corporate event and you needed to get something off a soundboard, or working in a church venue, whatever it is. There's a lot of times when it'd be nice to be able to just plug straight in and not into the camera. And the reason why this matters is that the camera has a delay in sending it to it. Now, I have matched cameras right now for at least 2 of the angles. One is not matched. They have the same delay from the video coming in from HDMI to there. Whereas the audio doesn't have, it has a little bit of delay, but hardly any delay, noticeable delay. If you plug it in there, and there's no way of syncing the two together. Now, there is a setting. So if I go in here and we go look at our audio setting back here, mic line, there we go. There is an option right up here. There is an option right here to be able to set up your audio frame delay. Unfortunately, it's grayed out. It's not available in this as it currently is. And I did hear back. They're hoping that they're putting it off as a feature request, maybe to be handled in a future firmware update. Kind of a bummer. Also related to audio, I hope they make it to where you can adjust audio levels coming in off of the camera feeds as well. Some cameras are kind of kludgy to be able to go in and set audio levels if you did want to use multiple microphones coming in. The other thing is you can't select multiple audio inputs simultaneously. So let's say I have a microphone on me, but also on a guest. I'd have to basically run the mix into a mixer and then back into a camera, or through a mixer that has some sort of audio delay built for this use case. There are those that exist, but that just requires more adapters and a little more forethought. It's just one more thing that makes it a little harder. And it's not hard in post-production to be able to resync audio, but it is a pain to do it in live video. Like you can't do that. You can do it via OBS, you can do it via some other software, but it'd just be nice if it was built in here and just a little bit more robust audio features. And that kind of gets me to another one. So you saw that there was the ability of doing overlays and stuff like that. It's a little clunky. It requires, the files can't be more than a megabyte in size. As it stands right now, you have to scale them down. And you have to scale them to what it would look like on a 1080 frame, a 1920 by 1080 frame size. So it requires a lot of work to get those files in there. You can't just resize them. You can't move them around. You don't have a lot of flexibility. You just have a couple corners that you can pin them to, or in the center. So I'd like to also see some PC software, if they could, just something that allows you to more easily adjust things on the fly, you know, allow you to maybe set some audio parameters, set fading and all those things. Maybe run some macros. The other nice thing you can do on the ATEM is you can run macros, so you can run these complicated setups with one button press. The other thing is you cannot record to H.265 compression. It's a paid upgrade for the Ninja V, but it comes included in the V Plus, but you can't record into that kind of more compressed, more storage friendly format. So I'm hoping that that gets put in there. The other thing too, now this is a big wish list, and maybe the original Ninja V won't be able to do it. Maybe it'll be locked to the V Plus. I'd really love to see some sort of ISO or isolated recording. Basically record each input to its own file. So that way you can come in here and basically have a multicam project already set up in there. So there are a few things I'd like. Now I'm still going to use this. I have a Ninja, I have this guy, and then so I bought the cast. So I was out an extra, $400 to get the cast. The Ninja runs $600. You can sometimes get it on sale for, I've seen up to $100 off that. And you can save $50 if you buy them together. But I really don't think I'd recommend anyone buy the Ninja Cast if you don't already own a Ninja, because you're going to have to buy one. Now, if you're already going to buy one, you could buy that. I'd probably say get the Ninja V Plus. It's the later, newer version, but it is $1,000. But if you buy with the Ninja Cast, you get the Ninja Cast for $200 if you bundle it together. So you save about $200 if you bundle them together, which I think is an okay deal for what you're getting. The Ninja V is a really powerful thing. It's just a nice, handy dandy, tried and true recording device. So yeah, if you own a Ninja V or V Plus, sure, you could think about getting the Ninja Cast. But if you don't, there's other options, and I'd probably push you towards the ATEM Mini Pro. The Mini runs $300, so the one that just does the plain USB out to your computer. The one that has networking and can also record to a USB drive is $500, so it's just $100 more than the accessory of the cast. So basically for $500 less than the whole package, you can get something that's a little bit more robust for most use cases. But if you need portability, if you need something that gives you this flexibility and monitoring for this compact of a size, this is a great option. Because if you were to try to do that with, let's say, the Blackmagic series, you have to go up to their extreme models, which do cost $1,000 and are larger. They're about double the width of this. So I guess it comes down into, what am I going to use this for? I'm big into educational content, trying to help people figure out how to use media, make some decisions like this. Like, you want to do live streaming, you want to get into this, you want to see what it takes to build a set or an environment. That's what I want to help people figure out. That's one thing I'll use it for. I'll also use it for some performance and live event recording, thinking like concerts, like small venue concerts, something that's really nice to be able to just run from a simple little device. That this will just help me more with post-production workflow, and then also the occasional live streaming event, because I do want to get better at this, and the only way to get better is to do it more. So I think that's a good way to wrap this up, is just to say there will be more to come. There'll be more live streaming, probably with this device. There will be some multi-cam productions coming through the pipeline with this guy that will use this as a tool just to show me multiple angles while I'm recording, as well as to help hopefully boost my production timeline. So basically making it to where I'm less concerned about the edits and able to get content out to you all faster. So if you liked any of that information, you want to see more of it, please do like and subscribe. And I will do my dandiest to get more of these out there, so you fine people can take that information and hopefully create some amazing things and tell some awesome stories. So with that, I'll see you later. Why is it that the battery dies? It's a reason. I'm getting rid of that camera. And I'll probably tell you why sometime.